Welcome to the AI for Interior Designers podcast, where creativity meets cutting edge technology. In each episode, we dive deep into the world of artificial intelligence and explore how it's revolutionizing the interior design industry. From AI powered design tools to the latest trends and innovations, we've got you covered. So plug in, relax, and let's embark on this exciting journey together. Welcome to AI for Interior Designers podcast. P.S. This intro was written by and voiced by AI to sound like your host, Jenna Goodusek.
Hey designers, welcome back for episode 75 of the AI for Interior Designers podcast. I'm your host, Jenna Goodusek. And today I want to talk about how I screw up a lot with technology, and I usually do it behind closed doors. So you can't see the struggle as much, but lately I've been doing it publicly, so yay. Let's talk about it because, it's been a few weeks, and I launched Field Day. And it's something that has been 2 years in the making, not just Field Day, but what is wrapped around Field Day, because it's a beast. And I had some issues with it, and I'm on the other side. I hope now. I'm hoping that I'm on the other side. And because I went through so many issues in the past 3 weeks, I have learned so many things. And usually that's how I learn. I screw stuff up so bad that I learn from it, and I know next time, oh, I did that and I'm not going to do that again because this happened. Or, hey, I know that exact problem to help you solve this because I was right there 3 months ago. Like that is why I do what I do, and also why I teach, because I feel like you can't do and teach if you don't like actually understand and can reinterpret what it is that you're trying to, make sure that other people can learn in a different way, because we all learn in so many different ways, right? Like, I hate reading. I've said this so many times. My brain does not do well with reading, especially books. Like, I can read something that's kind of scrolling, or, on a there's just weird formats. Like, I just do better reading different formats than literally physical books. It's so weird. And it's always been a thing for me. So I don't learn that way, but half of the world does, right? And then I learn typically by doing, never reading instructions until I need absolute help that I cannot figure out for myself. But aside from that, I am a like action type learner. So I will get in and I'll be like, oh, you got hotspots telling me where to go? That's cute. And I'm like, I'm going to find my own path. So because of that, I think that's what makes me kind of in this weird, and I don't want to say weird, but like this different position in our industry where I'm a designer, trained, went to school for interior design, I got an associate's and then I got my bachelor's because why not? They were doing both. And I got my real estate license, and, I've lived other lives. And then I switched over to virtual design, and all of it was fundamentally powered by technology in some capacity. Like, I just love the tech side of design, and I always have, because as much as I can't read a book, which is so stupid, I can't. I can read, guys. Like, I just don't like to, because the letters like jump and the words jump all over the page, and I will literally read a sentence backwards and then have to go back, and I will read the same thing over and over and over again and never get through the page. Like, it's so weird. I don't know. But technology is the one thing that my entire life I have been able to sit down and just do it. Like, I just pick it up, except for video games. Like, I cannot figure out how to work a controller that's not a Game Boy. Like, my 4-year-old can pick up a game controller and play freaking Super Mario, and I'm like, what button moves it? Like, it's so stupid. But computers, I got computers. Don't give me a Mac though. I don't know the first thing. And also, don't give me a trackpad. Cannot use a trackpad to save my life, especially on a Mac. People were like, here's a computer. Can you just like, get me to where I need to be? And I'm like, oh God, what is this? Is this a Mac? Like, where's the buttons? Where's the, like, can you move it? I was literally doing that last weekend with my sister-in-law, and I'm helping her with something in Canva. And I was like, ah, I can't, like, is this a touch screen? Like, what do I do? So I'm really good with like specific technology, we'll say. It's very, yeah, it's very explicit, the things that I'm really good at, I guess. But as long as I can get in there, and as long as I can do it, I can then absorb it in a different way that allows me to be able to, first of all, screw it up so that I know when you screw it up at your house, how to help you, right? Because if everything just worked out perfect and I didn't even know how anything broke, how could I fix it? So that's one of my core fundamental reasons for like learning and doing and literally being the one that is doing this. And it always has been since I launched my first online company, and that was back in 2016. Technically, that's when I like legally filed it. 2015 is when I think I officially launched it. Man, it feels like forever ago, but that's 11 years for doing virtual design, right? So with all of that, like I have always just kind of sat down, absorbed it, learned different technologies so that I can teach you in a way that might fit your learning style. So it might not be, reading. It might not be just diving in and doing. It might just be sitting here watching me do it first, and then you understand a little bit more, or me just high level talking about it, and then like here's how I use it, and then you're like, oh my gosh, that's a cool idea, maybe I can apply it to my business like this, and it's a little bit different, right? So that's why I love what I do. I love every aspect of it. I love the teaching parts, the you having realizations and feeling like you are in control because you have technology that supports you versus fights you every day. Um, I love the design part, I love the tech part, and I love where they all come together. So that's why I do what I do. Um, but it's hard. It is hard. Luckily, it's also a hobby. So that makes it not as hard, I guess, and makes it so that I want to come back. Because I think if it was always as hard and I didn't truly enjoy it, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be coming back. And that's why I am here, because I think a lot of people feel that way. And I know that a lot of you feel that way, because that's why I do this, and that's why I talk to you. And then I get on a one-on-one, or I meet you in person, and you're like, I figured out how to do this, and I just watched your videos, or I watched you do this thing, and like I feel so smart and empowered, and you should feel smart. Like when you can't figure out technology, it's not on you. It's because the technology's stupid. It's not you. Okay? Like let's just make sure that we're clear on that. Like it is the tech, it is not the person. Unless if you do something really silly, and we all do it. Like, oh, I forgot that I had to like turn on my computer, like that I was in this browser or whatever. It happens. We forget. We're humans. We're humans. And we are allowed to make those types of mistakes, and we are allowed to explore and create and, just see what this technology can do as an extension of our humanity. And so that's why I love where AI is going. Also, the progression of where it has been. It's not new, okay? Like, it didn't just like pop up out of nowhere 3 years ago and now we have AI. Like, this has been in development for years, decades and decades. And I mean, it's not new. It's just now we have it and it's accessible and it is disruptive. And so something else that I really enjoy is looking at empty places in I guess just gaps. We'll say gaps in different companies or different structures or technology or processes and workflows. Like I just like finding where there isn't something yet. I'm not somebody that wants to necessarily join a table, that wants to join something that's already existed. I'm somebody that has always built my own table and then invited my friends to join me because I don't want to live under somebody else's rules. And if somebody else wants to, come in and be collaborative about it, that's why I like to do the things that I do. I don't build things for me. I build things for community, and I always have. I build things so that the people that don't have a place and don't have the table to be invited to, they have a table and they have a seat with me. So that is why I do what I do, why I look for the gaps, why I try and find in every conversation that I have, how can we benefit each other? How can we help each other rise? And how can we change this industry for the better? Because we've been through a lot in this interior design industry, and we are almost like this lowest hanging fruit where everybody has a house, everybody wants to live in a beautiful space, and everybody should, right? We all know that everybody should, but we're all out to also, pay our bills, live a happy and comfortable life, and so we have to charge for our talents and our services. And if I didn't have to charge anything, God, I wouldn't like, but I got to pay the bills. I have to. I don't do things to be profitable, and I think that's kind of one of my downfalls is that, like, I do it because I have to. I have to pay my bills, but I would do this for free if I had all that stuff in my family taken care of. I just love it so much. So that is what I think about every single day when I'm having conversations with you all, when I'm in the thick of it, doing this tech stuff, and I'm like ready to throw my computer out the window and bang my head against a wall for the next, 24 hours. Like, I just remember why I'm doing this, and that is to hopefully help you to get some kind of an edge in a world that feels like they are constantly pushing the professionals in this industry out. They are actively doing everything that they can to use technology against us to be able to give it to the masses and act like it is what we do. And we all know that it's not, but they don't know that. Tech people, the ones that have been building solutions to replace professionals in the home furnishings industry, they've always screwed the professionals over. I just can't think of a public facing tool that has helped the interior design industry and not tried to cut us out. Can you tell me, like, in comments, can you tell me, like, if was there something that in the end was successful in helping interior design professionals and not the masses when it was built? I mean, this could be Wayfair, like this could be retailers that you know said that they were for trade and then weren't, like that type of thing. Like, technology in general was not made for the smaller segment of professionals. It was made to give it to everybody to be able to have these tools. And so AI is also in that same capacity, right? Like, now all these people that have ever wanted to build a software or a technology that have no business doing this professionally are like, well, we have the technology, and I designed my house when I built it, and I'm a professional, because I did that. So I know what I would have liked when I was building my house, and I'm going to build that for everybody else. And I didn't feel like I needed a professional, so why would they? I'm just going to build this tool now that I have AI, and I'm going to cut them out. We're going to see a lot more of that. And with that, we're going to see this previously, this e-design client category where, they're not the DIYers, they're kind of, but they're there to also get not expensive advice or design ideas, but something that they can, afford more and implement themselves. So that has been a slowly dwindling market. I got into virtual design in 2015, 2016 is when I launched my company. But before that, I was working for or winning jobs for a few of the online virtual design companies that no longer exist. And so I've been around, I've seen the progression. And like I said before, I look for gaps, I look for patterns, I look for behaviors in these different types of things. And then I try and fill those gaps and build those tables. Okay. So that's what my previous company was, eDesign Tribe. I am seeing this part of the industry slowly decline, right? Like this is previously where we would have, virtual designers and, you know, thriving companies for more of a passive business model really hit the ground running and be able to build their business online. It's 10 years later, we are not there. Those people are now chat GPT people. Those people are now going and getting their advice from AI, and they're putting in the picture of their hallway and saying, what should I paint this? And I follow this. I'm laughing because I follow, I think it's called like Chapel Cabinets or something. Um, I follow them on Instagram, and their skits are so funny. Like, oh my gosh, they had me laughing the other day because it was one of their skits was something about like how somebody had chat GPT'd on their team, like the paint color that they needed, and then he started painting it, and it was just like, well, ChatGPT said this, and ChatGPT said that, and everybody's coming in like, dude, what do you do it? Like that's weird. And they were like, no, ChatGPT said it was gonna be fine. It was something like that. They're really funny. Go check them out. But that's where we're going, right? Like ChatGPT doesn't know what your lighting is. They don't know what is in other rooms that also are adjacent that need to be considered when you're considering a paint color. I mean, so many different factors are going into this, right? And now they're like, well, ChatGPT did it. So I almost see this business model of like these designers that maybe, were previously doing virtual design are now the ChatGPT design fixers. Like that is your whole business model is, oh, did ChatGPT guide you down the wrong path with your design? Here, I can help. Here's my services. And it's like AI correction, consulting type design services. So things aren't going away. They're just kind of shifting to fix the problems that are now arising from AI. Just throwing that out there because with AI, we're seeing all these new business models start to pop up, and people that have had these crazy dreams about, like, oh, if I could ever build my own software, I had a hard time building my house, I'm going to do this. People with no business are continuously building things that undercut and demean the profession and the expertise because they just don't value it. But then we have that other bracket. This is like that, mid to high tier design client. And that client, they can come in a few different ways, right? We get the hands off client, the one that's just like, here's all the money. I see your value. You make the best decisions. That's why I hired you. Let's do it. I agree. Perfect. Sold. Love it. Let's order. That client is the dream client, right? Like the one that doesn't bat an eye at the fee because they know your value. They respect your opinions because they hired you because they know your value, and they don't nickel and dime because they hired you to be the professional that has the advice and they trust you. Those are my favorite clients. I think those are the majority of our favorite clients, but also they're few and far between, right? Um, a lot of that also has to do with like, who you're attracting and what you're doing and, how you onboard and all that stuff. But then we have this mid tier, and this mid tier is where I'm seeing this new divide. And so this new divide really kind of comes from this place of, well, I used to be like a DIYer and I'm still going to do some of that, but I do value a professional opinion. So I'm still going to ask, I'm going to consult, I'm going to do, in the end, whatever I choose, but I want that professional opinion and I value that. I will pay for that on consulting to get the answers that I'm looking for. And then we've got the other one where it's like, okay, well, I'm going to pay you. I'm a little hesitant because this is a big investment for me. I want to be pretty hands-on. I'm gonna make sure that you hear me in my opinions, and we're gonna get through this. It's not gonna be the best experience for anybody, but you get paid. You may lose some money on some hours that you didn't account for, but just in the end, you're gonna have your client, right? I see these categories when I look at the industry right now, and when I think about where professionals can go when it comes to who your target audience could be, who this ideal client could be in the world of AI, right? So, with all of that being said, like, we're gonna start to make mistakes in the way that we're using AI on our websites with our clients, like just generally. And that's because it's new. We're trying to figure it out. We're trying to find the best way to ethically and, actually, I guess is the word, utilize AI, not just like this, oh yeah, you can do this. No, like what can it actually do and how am I going to see the benefits from that in my like day to day? That's what I look for. So as I have been experimenting with AI for over the past 3 years and teaching for the past almost 3 years now, I have also been building. And so, like I said in the beginning, everything I do with a purpose to absorb it, learn it, and then be able to, in turn, help you fix any issues that you might come across with when you try to experiment and implement. But also come out in a different way for all the different learning styles and types and say, okay, you do better with video. Here's a video so that you can go learn it. You do better with one-on-one. Let's meet. Let's, do this together. Or I got some money, I'm going to throw it at somebody and they're going to do it for me. All great answers, whatever floats your boat, right? But it's hard. It's hard from every angle. If you got the funds to throw at it, awesome. If you don't, you're in the thick of it and it's you and you're a solopreneur and you're out there every day and it's daunting and it's a lot and there's, a lot of tears and a lot of sleepless nights just trying to get your business to use the technology so that you can do your job. The one thing that you love about why you started your business, but the technology just keeps getting in the way. And I'm talking to everybody, but I know that there's a lot of people that feel like technology just hates me, and I just can't. I just can't with technology. Technology hates all of us. It's not just you, okay? It's not just you, so don't feel bad. Just know that like things are going to happen. I was ready for a meltdown this week. I had a nice little cry this week because everything that I've been building for 2 years, to be able to give what I've been describing to you through my AI Social Club app. 2 years I've been building this. I've been trying so many different structures, different builds like platforms, different AI tools, and then how they work together in this massive tool that I'm trying to basically have be my community, my learning center, my live stream center, education center, my AI app studio, my pipeline for my leads, my CRM. It is all there. And for 2 years, I've been building this. The amount of iterations I have made because the tech wasn't there. Like, I wanted to launch this last April, and I launched it on a separate site that I had built it on. I didn't like it. I didn't even want to be in there myself because I literally had to build everything from scratch in this tool, the buttons, the flows, the like everything. And I learned so much doing that. But it was not connecting. It was not working the way that I wanted to. It was still very generic. And in my mind, I am like 2 years beyond what you see on the internet right now. Like, I'm like, I want this, but I want it to do that. And the tech has not been there for me yet. And I always think that it is. Like, I get ideas when I see something working. I'm like, oh, maybe I can do something like that with it. And then I try and do that thing, and it's like, no, it kind of works, but it like not totally, right? And so I waited for almost 2 years. I built, I rebuilt, and I just built so many times that finally Claude got good enough that it could look at what I had built, look at all my goals and current body of education and videos and transcripts, and there's so much, but also not all of it's relevant. It's 3 years of content, and some of it is just like you don't go to Discord for Midjourney anymore. Like, that was my first class, almost 3 years ago. So there's things that had to be purged. But then I wanted to take all of that stuff, all the relevant things, and then turn it into video or podcast learning or hands on exercises or literally just say, you don't need to go to Gemini to be able to do this, to get images and have this endless chat where you're like, okay, well, I don't want that in the image, but you put it back in anyway. How can we fix that? I created apps that literally cut out that back and forth. That's what the AI App Studio is. And I wanted this for community. I wanted us to be able to collectively have a place that is for professionals only, that we come in, we build a paint schedule, export it, doesn't get locked in. I don't want to save your information, nor do I want to pay to store your information. I don't want it, but I want you to have the tools so that you don't have to go and find the solution, pay for another solution that does one little thing that you need it to do, and then sit there and argue with the AI to get it to do the thing that you were told it could do the entire time. I don't want that for you. And I know so many people that struggle to even say, what browser do I need to be in to be able to use this part of the AI or the internet? And, like a lot of you are starting from scratch with technology, or you just weren't a millennial kid raised on it like me. Like, it's all good. We all have our different interests. This just happened to be mine. And so when I'm teaching it, I want you to feel like you get it and that you can do it. That's always my goal. And to get to that point where I feel like I can teach you something after I learn it, do it, absorb it, recalculate how I'm going to teach this, and then teach it before the AI changes. Okay, like remember that. The AI will change next week. So, in the time that I have to learn it, do it, make sure that I totally understand it, and then reteach it to you, it will be changing by the time I teach probably that second class on that same topic. So, it never freaking ends. It never ends. I love that, but I also hate that because I feel like I'm always behind. If I have to, work on a project, or if I'm like heads down, which is if you're not seeing me on the internet, it's because I am busy and not taking emails, phone calls, like DMs are insane right now. I'm so sorry if I owe you a DM. I am heads down focusing on the task at hand. And this past 3 weeks, that's been two of my clients' apps, like launched. They're looking great. I'm so excited about them. Onboarding other new clients to build their apps. Now that these other ones are getting to the completion zone, and then finally launching Field Day, which is wrapped around my app that I've been building for 2 years. So I've been quiet because I've been fixing and developing and launching, and learning, but also cleaning up messes because AI is not clean, and it will lie to you, even the good models, and say like, "Oh yeah, this is good," or "I didn't find any of that, bad stuff that you were talking about. Like we're good, yeah," and then you find out it's not. um, so it's just been, I'm not going to get into all the nitty gritty, but it's just been a week of learning, exploring, and trying to keep calm. I am very calm when it comes to technology. It's why I'm typically able to help a lot of people in a situation that does feel overwhelming for them to be able to say, look, I've been there. We can walk through this together. I got you, right? Or just hand it over, I'll do it for you so that you can move on with your day. I love that part of this. But getting to that point, I screw up so much behind the scenes, and on not necessarily on purpose. Like I don't want to, but when I do, it's how I learn, and so that when you do it, I can say, I know, right? I know how to fix that. So I screwed up with something this week. It was not anything super big in the scheme of things, like no security breaches, like, all that stuff intact. None of that was the issue. The issue was that I built the app. We're in week 2. I was trying to fix some things where basically, if you forget your password, you're coming into the app because we preloaded you. If you already had a membership, so that you could come in, see the content right away, and we didn't have to like watch for you to come in and then manually tag. But when you do forget password, every single time it was landing in spam. And so what I wanted to do, because it was coming from Firebase, which is where I have my authorization for security. Okay. And I use Google for this app. I'm using Google Cloud as well. So I made the stupid mistake of trying to change my DNS and MX records. So basically, taking one of the domains that I already have and a email domain that I already have, and taking that from my Squarespace where I host, and basically just saying, "Hey, hey internet, I need you to look at this series," and I'm going to make this super simple. So sorry if you are a techie and you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to boil this down. I need my Squarespace computer or my Squarespace domain website and email to now point over here. So anytime somebody gets an email, it doesn't look like it's coming from Firebase, it's coming from AI for Interior Designers. So I tried to change my records. This for me has literally been the most terrifying part of what I do since I launched my first website. And that was what, 2016, that I got on Squarespace. I've now outgrown it, and so that's why I was trying to consolidate and build the app, and be able to cancel my Squarespace stuff, because I'm paying an arm and a leg for things that I'm like, well, I should own that. Like, that should be mine. I shouldn't have to pay somebody else and then continuously get jacked up in my pricing, and also sit in this box of what my limits are for how I can build and expand this brand, because I can't do what I want to do inside of a Squarespace site. I tried. So I basically took that DNS location and Max Records, all that stuff, and I was like, hey, go over here, point to this. But at the same time, I had so many people come on that week and like start using the app and exploring it and like literally playing. And I've had our certificate members in there for the past couple months, and they've been playing around too. But now, when I added all field day people, it was like, whoa, wait a minute, have you been hijacked? Because all of a sudden you're changing your DNS and your domain information, and you just had a huge influx of people join the app. So it literally locked it, which is what the security is for. It was like, you're good, but we think you might be under attack. It was me the whole time. So I just trying to make it better, And so DNS fucking location, sorry, DNS drives me nuts every single time because it's out of your hands. Like, you don't know when it's going to change over, if it worked properly. Like, this has happened to me many times before, and actually in a lot of the previous apps that I've built with developers, like, we've had issues. So it's just kind of like when the internet gods are like, yeah, you can switch over your DNS location. I know it's 3 a.m., so you'll wake up in the morning and everything will be broken. So that'll be fun. That's what happened. um, so I didn't realize, and then I get up and they're like, "Hey, it looks like the site's down." I'm like, "Well, that's weird because I changed the records yesterday. Like, it should be actually up and thriving now and not going to spam." No, no, that was not it. So I spent the next 4 days fixing and rebuilding, and basically had to file a claim and then wait for 48 hours to basically say, "That was me. Can you please now restore everything that I already had in the app, like in the storage centers," because that's what it locked up. So nothing was ever leaked, exposed, like none of that. It just, whoop, I couldn't touch it. So I had also planned to make it official and use this, the AISocialClub.com for, where it's all going to go and live. And I bought it about a year ago. And so that's kind of where I was trying to change everything over to, but I was doing a subdomain for the email. But don't worry about that. But anyway, I was trying to use this one so that I could make it official. And so in the meantime, I was like, all right, I'm just going to move all the code over. I'll wait for this to become unlocked. I'm going to officially put it on the site that I actually want it on. I will make the app better in the meantime and continue to, just plug along while I'm waiting for this. So I was able to restore it, have everything back. We hosted Field Day in there on Tuesday, which, by the way, Field Day is different, and that's something that I'm like experimenting with, right? Like, everything I do is experimenting because in my mind I have these visions for how we learn and absorb and do these things in the future, because I hate the internet as it is right now. Like, it is so corrupt, it is so staged and so algorithmic that people's whole identity and personalities are literally built off of an algorithm that is pushed to you. And I'm just done with that. Like, I don't want to be this person that the internet tells me to be, because of what I see in my feed. I want to be a free thinker and build my own friggin' table, right? So that's why I wanted to set out to do this. I wanted to build a community, AI Social Club, which is the community part, where you can just come in and we can chat. And it's like no algorithm. It's just like, hey, I did this, or I got this question, or hey, I'm here from Nigeria, and I just want to meet some people and some friends, which is happening. So um, this is the start of this new community off the internet. And I know that's hard because like everybody's like, well, Facebook groups, and that's the only reason why I have a Facebook. And we've been saying that for years, but I don't even open Facebook anymore. I hate Facebook, like with a passion. And that is where I built everything. I was one of the first, like out in college, I was one of the first people to have a Facebook. I've been there for years. My entire life is on there. I don't ever want to open that app because I hate what I see when I open it. It is so AI fake and just BS that I'm like, this is dead. This is so beyond dead. And then the people that are there absorbing that content, if you're not just in a Facebook group to be there, and I think that's why a lot of people are, they're just like regurgitating this made up stuff that's pushed to them. And I'm like, that's your life. That's your life is Facebook information. And I'm like, I don't want any part of that. And Instagram for me has also kind of become that way. I was never on TikTok because I don't need the brain rot. And I don't trust it. I don't trust any of these, but I really didn't trust TikTok. I just don't care about any of that stuff anymore. I push things, and I have a social company, for it's Leslie Swink Social. She's lovely, for AI for interior designers. But it's basically taking my content and just regurgitating it, putting it on there in different ways because we have to, and because it's free, and because it's marketing. That is literally the only reason why I started this podcast. I don't listen to podcasts. I don't have time to listen to podcasts. And if I did, I listen to my friends. So I listen to Luann's, not Gara, and I listen to a few other ones, but I listen to true crime. When I am not working, I don't want to be listening to work. Okay. So I listen to history, I watch documentaries, and I just try and learn. I like biographies. I like, just historical architectural things, how things are made, origin stories. That's what I like to learn about. So I don't really listen to podcasts. I'm a watcher. So I watch things on YouTube. I could probably, like, I'm cleaning my house, that's what I'm doing while I'm doing this, but because that's also my detox. But I'm not really listening to podcasts. However, I started this podcast because I needed it for marketing, because I knew that I could come on here and I could say whatever the hell I want to say because it's mine and nobody else owns it. And because I don't have to appease to anybody. And I can use this and I can come here and I can be here whenever I want. And if that's on Fridays, cool. If that's on Mondays, if I don't come here for a month, I don't care. And I'm sorry that if that comes off weird, but like, I don't care. I care about the things in my life and the things that I enjoy doing. And some of that is learning and, exploring all of this, but it's being with my family too. So right now it's hard because I'm not, like, I have a 4-year old and a 9-year-old, and I traveled for the past 2 years. I have since put into place, more guidelines and guardrails so that I can be more present because I was not, and that was never the goal. So I'm building towards that. And one of the things that I had to do for that was do this podcast because I also enjoy it. Like, I do enjoy coming here and just being like, here's what's on my friggin' mind today. Let me just tell you about it, because I get to talk to you guys when I do go out and meet you at, trade shows or online or something. They're like, hey, I listen to your podcast. I'm like, oh, I forgot I have that. Like, I just do that sometimes. But I'm like, thank you. And it makes people, like, I've had people come up to me and say, like, what you say, I agree with all this stuff, but nobody else is saying it. And I'm like, I don't work for anybody. I can say that. Like, I know a lot of people want to say some of the things that I'm saying, but they can't because they have clients that might see it, or they have other things. Like, you guys are my client, and if you agree with me, great. And if you don't, then maybe you're not my client and you can just kind of like chill and listen to my stuff, or if you want to, but if you do agree with the things that I say and the way that I operate, and hopefully, you've taken a class with me and you want to learn with me, I do this for that. Like, I do this so that you can hear firsthand from me, like, what my thoughts are unfiltered. Because I feel like sometimes on social media, I can't, I would drop an F bomb every single sentence if I could, but I really clean it up. I just want to be me. And I feel like there's been so many restrictions on how we are allowed to be ourselves online, especially now. And people will be mean about it, and they will, because they're insecure about themselves. And it's literally nothing else other than they don't feel good about themselves. So they want to make you hurt. And I just don't care about that. So that's why I do this. Like, I do this because hopefully it inspires you, it educates you, and it makes you feel not so alone in this crazy world of technology, in this place where we don't know where our next job's going to come from with the economy right now. Like, it's just so much. And I try to just keep my perspective on it and not get convoluted with the bullshit on the internet, and really try and use AI tools to find a source of truth, or in like, or at least form an opinion that I feel like is educated enough, or research and learn something that I just didn't know before. So for that, I love technology and I love what I do, and all the components of AI and everything that goes with it. But it's weeks like the past 3 weeks that I've been having that I'm like, why? I haven't slept. I haven't eaten anything. Like, I am here chained to my computer and I need to touch some grass. So it is hard. I am through it, I think, on the other side now, so I can talk about it, but it's not just you. Like, technology is hard, life is hard right now, AI is hard, but it's also not if you look for the right things and if you have the patience, right? I think half the battle is making sure that we take a breath and we have the patience to get through the task at hand. And I try to remember that, because it takes a lot for me to get there where I'm like, I just can't do it. And I got there this week. I mean, it literally took probably 2 years for me to get to that point. Like, I am very calm about technology when it breaks, because it will always break. If there's one thing that I can always count on, there will be tech issues. And I start a lot of my classes by saying that, because I know, and I'm going to just say it from the get-go, because you should know that it happens to everybody and that it's going to happen. Okay. So I don't know exactly what this episode is about. I'm going to run my transcript through and AI is going to tell me what this episode was about. I don't plan my episodes like real podcasters do in advance, okay? I'm not a real podcaster. I just have one. So I am going to tell you whatever's on my mind. And this was what was on my mind today. I'm going to go away for tonight and then come back on Saturday, actually. So today is Thursday that I'm recording this, in the middle of June, and it's almost Father's Day. So I got this Airbnb, and it's funny. It's this like luxury camper, and we're gonna bring the dogs, which we never really do, but it's an hour north in South Carolina. It's on the river, and it's quiet and peaceful. And I don't know if I'm gonna have Wi-Fi or technology, and I'm so excited about that. So this is a Father's Day thing to, get my husband in the house and the kids and like just go and be together. Um, and have the dogs and everything and experience something for the summer. We've got some family things coming up where I will be in Vermont at my family camp. My sister's going to be coming in from California. My parents are there, and everybody will be at camp, and that'll be in 2 weeks that I'll be there. But it's different, like this. I just wanted to get away, touch some grass, be with nature, and on the river, and have so many stars out at night, and just sit by a campfire and just like reconnect. And I don't hear a lot of people in the AI or technology space saying things like that, because they're inside, they're on their computers all the time, and they are absorbing the technology and not the world. And I don't want to lose sight of what really matters. So that's why I schedule in times that I can reconnect. And one of those things for me too is on the weekend. Really try to shut it off unless if I have to do something. I watch my shows on YouTube. I watch my documentaries, and I listen to things and I clean my house. That is like my therapy. And then we do something as a family. But I really try to not even come in my office at all, let alone crack open a computer, unless I'm feeling inspired or like I have a big deadline and I have to do something, or I'm like, I just feel like I need to. Other than that, I really try to not even open my technology at all. And well, I say at all, but I am watching my YouTube videos, but I'm not reading. So I am cleaning and watching them, or having them around in the space. But I think that having that balance as being such a tech person is really important, to be able to not lose sight of what really matters in this world. And I think that a lot of the big tech people have lost sight of what really matters in this world. And the greed is not for me. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing and keep making my mistakes. And I think today I'm going to end it on one of my favorite shows from when I was a kid was Magic School Bus. And I love Miss Frizzle. And now my son's actually watching the older ones too. My daughter doesn't love them as much, but my son, who's almost 5, loves them. And one of the things that always stuck with me, because this was one of my favorite shows forever, is that Miss Frizzle always talked about getting messy and making mistakes. And that's how you learn. And that's how I live my life, is that you have to get messy, you have to make mistakes. And when you do, you have so much more fun learning that topic, and then you always remember it, right? So that's it for today. I'll be back when I'm back, and I hope you guys enjoy your summer. All right, till next time. Bye.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of the AI for Interior Designers podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and tune in next week for more AI tips for your design business. See you next time.